Prakash sir, is my voice audible?
Yes, madam.
Thank you, sir. Prakash sir, shall we start?
Yes, madam.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon to all the respected dignitaries, colleagues, and dear participants. A warm welcome to you all for Faculty Development Program on Orientation Towards Technical Education and Curriculum Aspects. Before starting the session, I thank each and every participant for giving your valuable time and active participation over here. So it's my honor to introduce the speaker of the session, Dr. Atul Kumar Anil Manchalwar. He completed his PhD in Structural Engineering from Vishveshwaraya NIT Nagpur in 2019, MTech in Structural Engineering from Nagpur University in 2012, BE in Civil Engineering from Baba Amravati University in 2010. Coming to his experiences, he worked as an assistant professor at GH Raisonic College of Engineering, Nagpur for 1 year. And after his PhD, he is working as an associate professor at GRIT till date from 2019. He published 3 SEI and 5 Scoopus indexed research articles and guided 7 MTech projects. Now I request the speaker, Dr. Atul Kumar Anil Manchalwar sir, to please continue with the session. Thank you. Atul sir, please continue.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
So good afternoon to all. So today is the first day of our FDP. So Faculty Development Program on Orientation toward Technical Education and Curriculum Aspect. So today's first session, what we are dealing with orientation toward technical education. Means in this session, the main objective of this session is to explain the role of higher education in the society, describe the structure of technical education, recognize the different types of technical institutes, and interpret some role of national agencies like Ministry of Education, AICTE, UGCs, NITTR, DTE, and ISD. So we're starting with, as I told you, first objective is role of technical education in the society. As technical education contributes the major share to overall education system and plays a vital role in the society and economic development of the nation. Today, advancement made in the field of the science and engineering has made a life sophisticated and moreover have improved the quality of the life. Hence, the technical education, which plays the vital role in human resource development of the country, has the need to create a skillful manpower to enhance industrial productivity and to further improve the quality of the life. The bridge between the human resource development, economic growth must be built by well-trained teachers. The most important agent of the change in the society is a teacher. 21st century presents a radical different economy and society, which is likely to have profound implication on technical education and the training. So this is at least one generation gap between the learner and teacher. ICT provides a powerful tool to support the shift from the teacher center to the learner center. Thus, a teacher requires many educations and radical skill to deal with the new situation. These are knowing the subject matter, learning to learn scheme, a large knowledge of digital education tool, and how to be facilitate and motivator of the learning environment. This FDP, in this complete FDP 5 days, we will deliver a necessary foundation for shaping the teachers' education and refining the role of teachers and learners in the new independent environment that has been created for them. So first we will start with the structure of technical education in India. In India, India is a witness of the age of the science and technology. There is a huge demand of the technical education in the modern age. The technical education offers a good opportunity for employment and successful career. Therefore, in our structure of technical education in our India, we are divided in some parts. That's first is a craftsmanship, then certificate program, diploma program, then graduate degree, postgraduate degree, and doctorate degree. Mainly, this is our criteria. We all know that the technical education system in our country has into fairly large size system, offering the opportunity for education and training in wide variety of the trades and discipline. In India, the technical education is imparted at various levels such as craftsmanship, certificate, diploma, degree, postgraduate degree, doctorate level. Okay. Technical education covers a program in engineering, technology, management, architecture, town planning, pharmacy, applied arts, craft, hotel management, and catering technology also. If we know the educational structure in India, generally we refer as 10 plus 2 plus 3, means 10. First, we are going for the first 10 classes, then 10 plus 2, and then 3 years of graduation. First 10 year provides undifferentiated general education for all the students. But in the plus 2 stage, also known as higher secondary or senior secondary, provide a differential into academic and vocational system and marks end of the school education. In some state, the plus 2 stage is located intermediate, junior or degree college, but not regarded as a part of the tertiary education system. So this is current present education system. It is not as per the new education policy. New education policy also I will explain at the last. But currently we are going with this policy only. A technical education program in the Polytechnic has been shown in exist after 10 years of general education. If you are to take the admission in the Polytechnic, at least you have to complete a 10 years of your graduation. The location of 1 year or 2 year program of the Industrial Training Institute exists, means it is after 8th and 10th level followed by the apprentice training. Students completing a higher secondary education enter the professional courses like engineering, medicine, law, applied sciences, craft, architecture, agriculture, and etc. Some technology courses is also available. So students are entering in the engineering institute, graduates as an engineer, usually after the 4 years of study. Some of them enroll for the postgraduate degree and some of them are going for as a professional engineer. Those who are joining for the postgraduate degree, they can follow with the PhD program and will called as a research engineer. Technical institutes and engineering and polytechnic, industries, industrial training center, vocational secondary education are formally source of the technical education in India. Next, we will see what type of institutes are available, which is regard to technical education. So first institute type is a industrial training institute. That is also called Industrial Training Institute, which is also called as ITIS. There are a notable training programs for the primary skill worker for the organized industry sector. The craftsmanship training scheme, first one is a craftsmanship training scheme, and second one is the apprentice training scheme. So in the craftsmanship training scheme, the Directorate General of Employment and Training in the Ministry of the Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Government of India initiated the craftsman training scheme in 1950 by establishing about the 50 industrial institutes for imparting the skill of various technical trades to meet a skilled manpower requirement for the technology and industrial growth of the country. Several new private ITIS was established in 1980s in southern state, mostly in the Kerala, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, and etc., from where the trained craftsmen found placement mainly in the Gulf country. According to the ministry, there are 14,312 industrial training institutes functioning in the country. Out of them, 2,204 are the government and 12,108 are the private institutions. All of them, however, are affiliated to National Council of Vocational Training. Next, under the Constitution of India, vocational training is a concurrent subject of both center and the state. The development of the training scheme at national level, evaluation of the policy, what means it's represent the responsibility of the central government, evaluation of the policy, laying of the training standards, norms, conducting the examinations, and laying of the training standards, and etc. And the responsibility of those of state government are the implementation of the training scheme is a part of the state government. Next, let's see the salient feature of the scheme. The training is imparted in 70 engineering and 63 non-engineering trades. ITIS are functioning under the administrative control to respective states' government. The period of the training for the various trades varies from 6 months to 2 years, and every qualification varies from 8 standard to 12 standard pass depending on the requirement of the training. Institutes are required to conduct the training course as per the curriculum prescribed at National Council of Vocational Training. The admission to new course are made in the month of August every year. The trainees after the completion of the training period are required to appear in all India trade tests conducted under the agency of National Council of Technical Training. Successful trainees are awarded a national trade certificate, which has been recognized by the Government of India. So after the craftsmanship training, next one is the apprentice training scheme. The Apprentice Act 1961 was enacted with the objective of the regulating the program of the training of apprentice in the industry by utilizing the facility available therein, imparting in on-the-job training. The act make it obligatory for the employers in specified industry to engage the apprentice in the designated trade to impart apprenticeship training on job in the industry. Apprentice training refers to the course of training in any industry or establishment. The apprentice training consists of basics training, theoretically, and practical on-job training at actual place. So categories of apprentice. So there are 4 categories of apprentice. First one is the trade apprentice, graduate apprentice, technician apprentice, and technician vocational apprentice. One by one, we'll see each apprentice type. So first, apprentice type is divided in. First one is a trade apprentice. A person undergoing the apprentice training in the designated trade. Designated trade is any subject field in engineering, non-engineering, technology, or vocational course as prescribed by government. 10th, 12th standard and ITI pass out are eligible to undergo apprentice in the designated trade for the trade apprentice. In certain trade, BSc pass also are prescribed for the qualification. So next category is a graduate apprentice. A person who hold a degree in engineering, non-engineering, and undergoing the apprentice training in the designated trade. Means for the graduate apprentice, you need to complete your engineering trade. Next one is a technician apprentice. Technician apprentice, a person who holds a diploma in the engineering and non-engineering and undergoing the apprentice designated trade. Next one is a technician vocational. A person who holds a certificate in the vocational course after the completion of secondary stage of school education recognized by All India Council. So here, the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship is responsible for monitoring the implementation of ACT with respect to the trade apprentice, graduate, technical apprentice, technician apprentice, and technical vocational apprentice are covered by the Ministry of Education. Formerly, it was the Ministry of Human Resource Development. Now it is called as Ministry of Education. So this I completed here. Industrial Training Institute categories, which type of trades are available. So next institute which we need to discuss is a technical institute, Polytechnic. Okay. Technical institute means a diploma in the engineering or diploma in the technology is a program focused on the practical and the skill-oriented training. Many countries in the world recognize it as equivalent to the pre-engineering or pre-engineering course considered for continuing the studies in engineering, related bachelor's or associate degree program. In India, diploma in engineering is a 3-year course. Awarded in the specific branch of engineering. It is usually offered in the Polytechnic Institute. Candidates seeking for the admission to the full-time diploma, full-time or part-time diploma course shall require to have passed 10th standard examination of 10th standard examination of the state board education or any other equivalent examination. And its age should be 15 plus. The duration of the diploma program, usually it takes 3 years. Here, a candidate seeking the admission to the second year, that is third semester or regular diploma course under the lateral entry shall require to pass higher secondary certificate examination, that is HSC, that is 12 plus 2 with physics, chemistry and mathematics combination, or 2-year industrial training institute certificate examination after the 10th examination of the State Board of Education. Admission criteria is prescribed by a state director of the technical education. So diploma in the engineering in the technical course that covers essential when ranked with the undergraduate engineering degree, it aims to provide students with the industrial job-related engineering knowledge, scientific skill, computing analysis, mathematical techniques, a sound knowledge of English to communicate in the field, and ability to apply a problem-solving skill. Diploma in the engineering is specific academic award usually awarded in the technical course. For example, civil engineering, mechanical engineering, chemical engineering, etc. Few institutes are also offers like technology courses, chemical technology, leather technology, textile technology, and so on. So here, if you talk with about the curriculum, 90% of the Polytechnic follows the curriculum prescribed by State Board of Technical Education. Only 10% of them have academic autonomy. And the ratio of weightage between the theory, knowledge, and skill is approximately 50:50. A sandwich type of program in collaboration with the industry are offered about 10% of the polytechnics. Public examination is conducted by the State Director of Technical Education. Based on the funding agencies, they are classified into 3 types. These are government polytechnic, government aided polytechnic, unaided polytechnic, or self-financed polytechnics. After successful completion of the diploma in engineering course, students can either continue the further engineering study in the undergraduate level or get employed as a junior engineer. And there are the different fields where they can start their career, and they can start as a junior engineer, technician, technologist, supervisor, superintendent, foreman, mechanist, workshop technician, draftman, or station technical in the field of energy, thermal, aeronautics, automobile techniques, maintenance and service, equipment mechanics, CAD/CAM program, agriculture, instrumental technician, junior instructor, or manufacturing tool. Diploma holder can sit for the examination of associate member of Institute of Engineer membership from the Mumbai for the member in Indian Institute of Industrial Engineering, Navi Mumbai, which is equivalent to associate engineering bachelor degree. Diploma holders can enroll for the advanced diploma course, which is concentrated job sector within their area of study. Diploma holder are also able to lateral entry to 3rd semester engineering course in various technical universities. So this is all about the polytechnic. This is the one of the type of technical institute. Next step after this is technical institute engineering. In India, there are numerous engineering colleges imparting the undergraduate or graduate courses in the engineering, applied in engineering and science. Indian Institute of Technology, National Institute of Technology, NITs, all state and central government owned engineering college and university. A graduate from IITs and NITs can earn higher as compared to the graduate or other engineering college. Many public sector companies refers to recruit graduate from the IITs and NITs as they technically skilled, and curriculum in those institutes are extremely competitive. So the engineering college admit the student who have passed 12th standard grade, that is who completed higher secondary education to provide the education leading to awards that bachelor degree. The duration of the degree program is usually 4 years. The engineering program offered in this field of civil engineering, mechanical engineering, electrical, electronics and telecommunication, computer science engineering, production engineering, and etc. They are also having the architecture program like Bachelor of Architecture, B-Arch. In the curriculum prescribed by the university, which is the college is affiliated, less than 10% of institutes have academic autonomy. The ratio of weightage of between a knowledge and skill is approximately 70:30. After completion of graduate, most of them may go for the employment in the industry, or they can go for as an entrepreneur. Then some of the student can join for the PG's program, employment as a teachers of technical education institute and R&D engineers. The engineering college may be classified based on the nature of the governance also. The engineering college affiliated to the center state and university. The engineering education programs conducted by the deemed universities. The engineering department, which are continued part of the general technical university. The National Institute of Technology, formerly known as Regional Engineering College. The Institute of National Importance like Indian Institute of Technology. The classification of engineering college based on the funding agency also. So how we, the government engineering college, government added engineering college, unadded means self-financing engineering college. The world is changing and the engineers are one behind the country development. The majority of today's service and the product has some element of engineering involves their conception, at least paying a way along. Fulfilling and healthy lives for the people influenced by them. Engineers must critically add creative as well as ready to handle the constantly changing world. In advance, a technology world, it need to engineers to bring idea into reality by applying a principle of mathematics and the science. Engineers develop the solution to the world's biggest technical issue. As quoted by N.R. Narayan Murthy, engineering or the technology is all about using the power of science to make better for people, to reduce the cost, to improve comfort, to improve productivity, and etc. So next stage, we will talk about what are the different universities are available. So first we'll discuss about the Center University. Center University or Union University are established and the Act of Parliament and undergo the preview of the Department of Higher Education in Union Human Resource Development Ministry. There are 49 central universities in the country like Delhi University, University of Allahabad, and Indira Gandhi National University. Next one is the State University. The State University are set up of recognized by the Act of State Legislature. There are 281 state university in the country. Three of the oldest institute state universities for the higher learning is University of Kolkata, University of Madras, and University of Bombay are the state universities. Next one is in the higher learning institute that are not university but are often to recognize of their high caliber of the education that are granted as a status of university are called a deemed university. As in other university, a student are conferred a degree upon the completion of their program. There are 313 deemed 131 deemed university in the country. For example, NITs, ISC Bangalore's. These are the type of deemed university. Next one is a private university. A private university is an institution of higher learning established through the State and Center Act by sponsoring body, such as a society registered under the Societies Act 1860, or any other corresponding law for the time being in force in the state for the public trust, or a company registered under the Section 25 of the Company Act 1956. They need to be recognized by the UGC to provide the valid degree. There are 87 private universities in India, for example, a bit Pillani. Next one is the open universities. Open university, that is open in the people without formal academic qualification and where teaching is by corresponding or broadcasting or summer school. It is notable for having a open entry policy, that is student previously academic achievement are not to be taken into account for entry of the most of the undergraduate and postgraduate courses. The Open University uses a variety of the method of the distance learning, including writing and audio material, the internet and disk-based software, television programs on the DVD, course-based television broadcast material are composed of original authors marked by in our an external academic contribution from the third-party material licensed from use of Open University. Currently in our India, we have 14 open universities. Next type of institution is institutes of national importance. The institutes of the national importance is the status that make to conform to higher education institutes by India by an act of parliament. An institution that serves as a pivotal player in the developing higher personnel within the specified region of the country of the state. There are 94 such institutes in the country. The common example of IITs, ISIs, and IIITs. Next is, we'll talk about the national agencies, that is Ministry of Education. Formally, it is called as Ministry of Human Resource Development, MHRD. As per the 42 Amendment of the Indian Constitution of 1976, brought about a dramatic change in the Indian Constitution. As far as the education was concerned, they may taken into the historic steps. Before 1976, the education was a state subject, while a central government used to play an advisory role. However, the person related to the educational administration felt that the education should joint responsibility of the state and central. The idea was put into practice by Constitutional Amendment Act 1976. As a result, the education was put into concurrent list, with the implementation has both a center and the state legislature. As the result of the education bring into the concurrent list, the union government lays down and the norms and standard for the education to be followed and maintained by the states. The center had set up an institute like University Grant Commission, that is UGC, for such a purpose. Moreover, the running of some special institutions in the responsibility of union government. The special institutions are Banaras Hindu University, Aligarh Muslim University, Delhi University, Jawaharlal Nehru University, Central Universities, National Library, National Museum, National Council of Educational Research and Training, Indian Institute of Technology, University Grant Commission, National Institute of Technologies, National Institute of teacher, that is NITTR, and etc. Further, one of the function of the central government to coordinate and determination of standard in the institutes for the higher education or research and scientific technical institutes. Hence, a Department of Higher Education, that is Ministry of Education, is responsible for the overall development of the basic structure of higher education, both in terms of policy and planning. Under the planned develop process, development looks after the expansion of access and quantitative improvement in higher education through world-class university, college, and other institutes. Next, if we discuss about the objective of this agency is to expand the higher education sector in all the modes of delivery to increase the gross enrollment ratio in higher education, to expand the institute base for higher education, including technical, professional, and vocational education by creating additional capacity in existing institute, establishing new institute, and incentivize state government and non-state government organization or civil societies to provide an opportunity of the higher education to socially departed communities and remove the disparities by promoting in the inclusion of women, minority, differentially added person, to remove a regional imbalance in access to higher education by setting up of institutes in under-reserved area, to support for the infrastructure and the facility development in the institutes to higher learning, and to attract the talent towards the career in teaching and research, to create a conditions for knowledge generation through the improved research facilities in university and the college, to promote collaboration with the incremental community, foreign governments, universities, and regional and international institutes, to promote a development under the Indian language, and to promote autonomy, innovations, academic reforms in the institutes in higher learning. Next type is a National Agency Act, that is All India Council of Technical Education. All India Council of Technical Education was set up in 30th November 1945 by a revolution of the government of India on the recommendation by the Central Advisory Board of Education. So here, first, the government of India realized that it was necessary to support or coordinate or promote a research in the technical education. The most vital was creation of the Board of Scientific and Industrial Research in 1940 to promote industrial research. Second was establishment of Delhi Polytechnic in 1941. Based on their recommendation, a new type of technical institutes called Polytechnics came into existence for the training of the middle level technical persons. In 1943, Constitutions of Technical Education Committee of the Central Advisory Board of Education was formed. The educational advisor of the National Government of India was asked to prepare a comprehensive report on the education. For the purpose of the government, formed the committee of inquiry with 22 members. The report of the committee was submitted to the Central Board of Advisory Board of Education in 1944. The board accepted recommendation. The scheme was known as a Sargent Scheme of Education, as it is prepared by John Sargent. Thirdly, in 1945, ad hoc committee, properly known as Sarkar Committee, was appointed. Fourthly, on 30 November 1945, All India Council of Technical Education was set up by revolution of the government in India on the recommendation made by Central Advisory Board of Education as a technical level advisory board to conduct survey on the facilities available for the technical education and to promote a development of country in the condition of integrated manner. Then some responsibility of what now national responsibility of AICTEs. It is the statutory body of the planning, formation and maintenance norm standards, quality assurance throughout the accreditations, funding in the priority area, and monitoring and evaluation of the fundings, maintaining the property, priority and certification award. There are some additional functions also there. The proper planning and coordinated for technical education, promotion of qualitative improvement, regulation and proper maintenance of norms and standards. Next one is a University Grant Commission. University Grant Commission of India is a statutory body organization set up by Union government in 1956, charged with the coordination, determination and maintenance of the standard of the university education. It provides a recognition to the university in India and disburse a fund to such a recognized universities and college. Its headquarters are in the New Delhi and 6 regional centers in the Pune, Bhopal, Kolkata, Hyderabad, Guwahati, and Bangalore. Its formed in 1946 oversee the work of the 3 central universities. Later, after the recommendations, the University Education Commission was set up in 1945. University was formally inaugurated by Abdul Kalam Azad in the Ministry of Education, Natural Resource and Scientific Research in 28 December 1953. Sorry. The role and the function of university is to provide the fund for the various higher education institutes to carry out the function of the coordination, determination of maintenance standard of the institution of higher education. Some additional responsibilities of this university: promoting and coordinating the university education, determining the maintaining the standard of teaching, examination, research in universities, framing the regulation in the minimum standard of education, monitoring the development of field of the colleges and university education, disbursing the grants to the university and the colleges, and so different the roles are available. Next one is the National Institute of Technical Training Research. So here, to remove the deficiency of the Polytechnic Institute and train the better teachers from the Polytechnic on the recommendation of the AICTE, the central government started 4 technical institutions. They are 4 in number, established in between 1964 to 1967, and these are Chennai Center in the southern region, Kolkata, eastern region, Bhopal, western, and Chandigarh in the north regions. Thus, these are the 4 institutions established. After the formation of technical teacher institutes, within the span of 25 years, several new committees were constituted and by the government to review the scheme of this technical teacher training institutes. And these committees are Kelkar Committee 1976, Zaha Committee. These 4 committees, they are established, and after this 4 committee has given the recommendations, and that recommendation are extension of the reach of institutes over the entire gamut of the technical education, training of teachers in other sector apart from the polytechnic education. So based on these recommendations, triple TIS is now reformed, and they have changed the name in 20th October 2003, and it is named as National Institute of Technical Teacher Training and Research. Next one is the DT, that is Directorate of Technical Education. Director of Technical Education was established with the object of is object of the bringing out the coordinated development of technical education in the state with effect of 14th August 1957. DT is a charge of academic and administrative management of technical education system. The expansion of technical education depends on the state's needs and realized by the respective state government. However, the AICTE approval is needed for starting a new institution, starting a new program in the existing institutes, for increasing the student intake in the existing program. Some mandates to the DT, that is Director of Technical Education. These mandates are select and admit the students in the engineering colleges, develop the suitable curriculum or conduct the examination and award the diploma and certificate, recognize the institutes, ensure the adequate human resource and infrastructure facility, provide the finance and supervise its utilization, implementation, the program and policy of the state government. Next, last one, a national agency is the Indian Society of Technical Education. Indian Society of Technical Education is professional society of technical teachers, administrators, and students. About 70% of teachers in the technical institute are a member of ICT. The major activity which conducted by under this program, this agency is summer and winter schools for the teachers, development of institutional resources, publication, newsletters, handbooks, journals, national and state awards, including individual and institutes, advocacy of formation of policies by center and state government. So these are the National Society of Technical Education homepage. So in this structure of technical education, we have covered a type of institutions, different type of universities, national agencies like AICTE, NITTR, UGCs, Ministry of Educations, and all. So as we are talking with discussion, so I want to explain about this some features about the national education policy, that is 2020. In as we know, 2020 July 2020, the government has declared a national education policy. Earlier, it was declared in 1986, which is called as National Policy of Education. They have changed the name as National Education Policy 2020. Later, it is modified in 1922, and according to Right of Education. So, according to new policy, we are included quality education, and previous policy was access and equity, means availability and fairness. So here, design and vision framework we have designed here. So short, I want to tell you, school education and higher education, they are divided into two categories. And three proposals are: national education policy proposes a change in school academic structure. Previous was 10+2. Currently it is 5+3+3+4. That is same format. Undergraduate degree will be multiple entry and multiple exit options. I will explain what is that. Let's see, MPhil degree they have cancelled, though directly we go get for the doctorate. So if you see, the previous education system was 10+2. Now the government will look students take a from foundation course, preparatory course, middle course, and secondary course. Means it is called as 3+3+3+4 scheme. So as why it is called as a multiple entry and multiple exit course, if anybody is doing for the 3 years course or 4 years course, and he is completed or she is completed 1 year, so they can awarded by the 1 year diploma so they can leave the course and if they can join any job. Afterward, if they realize that they want to continue their education, and they can come and they can continue from the same position. So every year, if you clear the examination, you will get a degree certificate. Okay, so likewise you have to complete it. So it is also credit based system. So all the credit will be stored in the academic bank of credit. So as if this is the 3-year UG course and 4-year UG course, both 3-year and 4-year. If you go for the PG course, so your PG course will be for the 1 year if you are completed 4-year PG course, UG course. If you are completed 3-year UG course, then your MTech will be, that means masters will be of the 2 years. So what are the positive points in this new agency policy? So 6% of GDP is given to this policy. School fees will be monitored by the government. Vocational training is included. Results will be divided into 4 categories: the marks, which is you scored, self-assessment, then students feedback, teachers feedback. 50 foreign university going to establish in India. Teachers trainings will be conducted for the period of 4 years. Thank you. So this was today's session.
Any queries from the participants? You can ask our speaker. Or else you can type in the chat box also, sir.
Actually, your voice is not clearly came, so I can't understand the question. Can you type in the chat room?
I request all the participants, if you have any queries, you can please ask Atul sir. Okay. Okay, thank you, Atul sir, for giving your valuable speech on orientation towards technical education and different schemes. Thank you for today's session. And I request all the participants to join tomorrow at 2:50 p.m. for our next session. Thank you, everyone.